What's up guys and welcome back to Software and Audio Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Warzone FPS loss. Now a lot of people are getting frame drops in this game and they've got really good computers, and a lot of people are getting FPS loss in this game and they've got mid-tier to low-tier gaming PCs or laptops. It doesn't matter what user you are, if you're an AMD user, Nvidia user, a Intel HD graphics user, whatever user you are and you are busy playing Warzone, you are getting problems. A lot of people are getting problems and a lot of people are getting the same issues. Now today I'm going to go over some steps which you can do to get this game up and running perfectly fine, and I found out a solution for the people out there that is running 240Hz monitors or 144Hz monitors for you to do 240 FPS. So you will get 240 FPS if you've got a really good computer. You will hit that 240 mark. Alright, so I'm going to go over this here. I'll leave a link in the description down below of the bug fixes this game has. Now, with the whole Season 4, they absolutely destroyed this game. This game is broken as fuck right now. This game is completely broken. Now, with all the patch notes and everything that they brought out, like new weapons, new gun skins, bug fixes and stuff like that, they're talking about fixing graphical issues and stuff like that. They keep bringing out new updates, okay? Brand new updates where they are trying to fix the game. But number one, they aren't fixing the game. They're bringing out new updates to bring out new battle passes, new gun skins, new OP things for the game and stuff like that. But they don't want to fix the fucking game. So this is why I'm here. I'm here to help every single person out there with Warzone to get this game up and running perfectly fine, because I know a lot of people on my YouTube channel plays Warzone. Now, thanks to everyone out there that subscribes to my YouTube channel. It really means a lot to me, and giving me feedback and watching all my videos that is loyal to my YouTube channel, it really means a lot. Now, and anyways, ladies and gentlemen, so this here, this patch notes, okay, where they're talking about the bug fixes and stuff like that. Okay, there's a lot of them. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below because I'm not going to make this video too long where I read all of this as well. Otherwise, I'm going to make this video an hour long and no one wants to watch an hour video of fucking Warzone. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is, I'm just going to minimize out of this and go to my desktop. The first thing you're going to need to do is go onto your desktop and then go to the search button over here and type in settings, just like this, and press enter. Go to update and security and make sure your Windows is up to date. It doesn't matter if you use a laptop or a desktop. It doesn't matter what user you are. Update your Windows on a regular basis. You always need to keep your Windows up to date. If you do not do this, your games aren't going to run well. Trust me on this. This is not just for people that play Warzone. This is for people that play every single game out there. Okay, so 10.18, 10.18. My Windows just updated. Okay, when this is done and your Windows is up to date, okay, what you're going to need to do next is update your graphics card drivers. AMD, Nvidia, Intel HD graphics, whatever graphics card you are using, update your graphics card drivers. If your graphics card drivers is not up to date, you are going to lose frames in this game. Trust me, you are going to lose frames in this game. Now, I'm going to jump straight into the game also to show you guys what you're going to need to set inside the game to get that 240 FPS, or the highest FPS that you could possibly get in this game with the system that you're running. It doesn't matter what system you're running. So your system can only go to a certain amount of frames depending on the system you are running. So let's get into that. Okay, so updating your graphics card drivers. If you're a Nvidia user like me, or an AMD user, or an Intel user, it doesn't matter what user you are. A long way of doing this is going on to Google, type in AMD drivers download, Nvidia drivers download, or Intel HD graphics download. Okay, that's the long way of doing things. We want to do it easy and simple. So all you need to do is go to the search button over here and type in device manager, just like that, and open up device manager. Once Device Manager opens, you go to Display Adapters and click on your graphics card that you're currently running, right-click on it and say Update Drivers, and say Search automatically for drivers. Now, as you can see, my graphics card drivers are up to date. Now, I do this on a regular basis. Do this on a regular basis so that you know that your graphics card is up to date on a constant basis, okay? This is the easy way of doing things. The hard way of doing it is going to the internet and type in the graphics card that you have and say driver download, and then you go and download a 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 meg file to update your drivers. Where you don't need to do that, this is the easiest way of doing it. Just use this. It's much easier, it's much quicker, and it's better. All right, once that is done, what you're going to need to do is you're going to go to the search button over here at the bottom, and you're going to type in edit power plan, just like this, and go to edit power plan. You're going to go to power options and go to create a power plan. Once you're over here, you go to high performance. So if you're a laptop user or a desktop user, you can be whatever user you are. Use this and it will help your game. Trust me, okay? Select high performance and type in for Warzone, just like this, and say next. Now you're going to say never, never, and say create. You're going to go to change plan settings, and you're going to go to change advanced power settings. Once you're over here, you are going to have an active plan for Warzone. As you can see, for Warzone active. Now you have an active power plan for Warzone. You go to hard disk, and where it says turn off hard disk after, yours might say like this, 10 minutes or 20 minutes like that. You are going to type in 0. This plays a very, very big role inside the game. Trust me, it does, and it plays a very big role on your system. If you're playing Warzone on a mechanical hard drive, which is a normal hard drive with a disk inside of it, the gaming tends to either stutter, either have problems, and a lot of people are having the same problem with SSDs as well. So let me just get that out there, okay? A lot of people are getting the same problems with solid state drives, SSDs. Now, I personally have SSDs in my system. I still put this on 0. So just type in 0, say apply, click anywhere you like to. Now it will say turn off hard disk after never. Your hard drive will never turn off, okay? A very important role for laptop users and desktop users, where it says processor power management, where it says minimum processor state. With laptop users, you're going to get 2 options here. It's going to say on battery and plugged in. Okay, now I highly recommend changing this to 100%. Just click on the box, type in 100% and say apply. For desktop users, you're only going to get one option like this. Like me, I'm a desktop user. Go to maximum processor state and make sure this is also on 100% and say apply and say okay. Once you're done with that, you're going to close out of this. Now you have an active power plan for Call of Duty Warzone, and Call of Duty Warzone will push the performance to the max that it can. Okay, the next step that you're going to need to do, you go here and type in graphics settings, just like this, and click on this over here. Now, put this on if you have this. If you have this option, I highly recommend switching this on. If it's off, and if you switch it on, it's going to ask you to restart your computer or your laptop. Restart your computer or your laptop once you switched it on. It helps with FPS. Now, for people out there that don't have this option, don't worry, I got you covered. So if you have this option, you can also do this, what I'm going to show the people out there that don't have this option. So if you have this option, switch this on and do this that I'm going to show you now. Go to browse over here at the bottom, and you're going to find where your Warzone is installed. You go to Warzone, go to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and you click on Modern Warfare, which is the exe file. You're going to say add. Where it says let Windows decide, you're going to change that because this is the exe file, as you can see, modernwarfare.exe. You go to options, you go to high performance. Again, you are pushing this to high performance so you can get the best out of your game. So now you select your graphics card. Make sure it selects your graphics card. Don't say power saving. Don't say let Windows decide. You want the high performance option. Say save and go out of this. Right, ladies and gentlemen, when you're on your desktop, you right click and go to Nvidia control panel. If you do not see this option here, go to the search button over here and type in Nvidia control panel. If you still not see it there, which you most likely will, it should be maybe pinned to your start or it should be on your desktop. But normally it's just right click on your desktop and go to Nvidia control panel. Go to Nvidia control panel. Once Nvidia control panel opens, you're going to go to adjust image settings with preview, and you're going to change this to use my preference. Now, if you have a monster computer, a beast machine, and you know you got a beast machine, you change this to quality. If you got a mid-tier to low-tier gaming PC, or let's say mid-tier gaming PC, you change this to balanced. If you've got a low-end gaming laptop or a low-end gaming PC, you change this to performance and say apply. Once that is applied, you click here. I'm just going to say no. You click here and you're going to select your GPU or your graphics card that you're running and say apply if you haven't done this already. Do not select your CPU. I repeat, do not select your CPU. Okay? Select your graphics card and say apply. Once you're done with that, this is for all the newcomers to my YouTube. Just do this. I know I've gone over this with people that is subscribed to my YouTube channel, but this is a very, very important step to get that 240 FPS in your game. Okay? If you want to get 240 FPS, if you're rocking a 240 Hz monitor or 144 Hz monitor, because I had a lot of comments on my YouTube where they say like, yo dude, I'm only doing 60 FPS in my game, but I have a 240 Hz monitor or a 144 Hz monitor or 120 Hz monitor, but I'm only doing 60 FPS. Now I'm going to show you how you're going to change that to get the FPS that your system is supposed to be doing. You go to manage 3D settings. You go to program settings and you go over here. If you don't find your game here, you go to add, you click on add and you go to browse and you go find where your game is installed. So here's my game installed. I go to Call of Duty Modern Warfare and I click on this one over here, which is the exe file. It's the largest file, and to say open. Now it will add it over here. The first thing you're going to need to do is this one over here. A lot of people on YouTube is saying, what you need to do, guys, is you need to go over here, then you click on and you leave this on default settings and you click OK. Then what you're going to need to do is once you're done with that, you're going to scroll down and you're going to go over here and you're going to switch this on. No, you are not going to do that. Because if you're going to do that, it's retardedness. Because if you switch this on, it's going to cap it at 60 FPS if you have a 60 Hz monitor. You do not want to cap your frames, okay? For low-end gaming PC users, yes, this is a fine thing to do. You can cap it at 60 FPS, okay? You could switch this on. Then cap it at 60 FPS if you want to do 60 FPS with a 60 Hz refresh rate monitor. This is for low-end PC users. Put this on. If you want to uncap your frames, if you want to uncap them and do more than 60 FPS, let's say 120, 122, I don't know, 140, 240, 500, 1 million, whatever. I don't know what machine you're going to have to be running to get 1 million FPS, but anyways, that's just an example. You switch this off, then it uncaps your FPS for you, okay? You go up, where it says CUDA GPUs, you select your graphics card. Do not say use global settings. Select your graphics card. So say use these GPUs, select your graphics card, tick the box and say okay. Go up, switch this off. Do not switch this on. Do not say use global settings. Switch this off. If you switch this on and you keep this at default settings, try going to your game and see what your game looks like. Your game is going to look like horse shit. So don't listen to the people that's telling you to put this on and leave it at default settings. Your game is going to look like trash. My YouTube is all about Warzone and it's all about helping people out. Go check how many people subscribe to my YouTube channel because my stuff works. So please, just follow my instructions and you should be good to go. Alright, switch this off, say okay, scroll down, make sure you select your GPU, say okay, scroll down, where it says quality, texture filter quality. If you have a monster machine, a beast of a laptop or a beast of a computer, you put this on high quality. If you have a mid-tier to low-tier gaming PC, let's say mid-tier, okay, you put this on quality. You can also put this on quality if you have a beast machine or you know you have a really good machine. If you have a low-tier gaming PC or a low-tier gaming laptop, you put it on performance or high performance. One of these two, at your own personal preference. You can play around with these and see what FPS you do. Alright, once you're done with that, like I said, turn this off. Do not turn it on. If you put this on, what it's going to do, it's going to cap your FPS and it's going to stay at, let's say, 60. constantly. You switch this on if you're a low-end gaming PC user and you want to do 60 FPS with a 60 hertz refresh rate monitor so you can run your game smoothly, because you only need 60 FPS to run your game smooth. Anything under 60 FPS, you are going to get frustrated and you're going to feel like throwing your laptop or your PC out your window. So switch this off and say apply. Apply it. Once it's applied, you go out of this over here and you jump straight into your game. And I'm going to show you what you're going to need to do inside your game to get better FPS in your game, and watch my FPS because I'm going to prove it to you. Alright, let's jump straight into that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I'm in my Battle.net right now and I'm on Warzone. Now, this is for people out there that hasn't seen this option yet, or that is new to my YouTube channel. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is when you're on Warzone, you go to the Battle.net icon over here and you go to settings. Once you're over settings over here, you go to app, and where it says by the third box over here, if yours says minimize Battle.net to the system tray, change this to exit Battle.net completely and say done. It might ask you to restart your Battle.net, then just restart your Battle.net and come back in here where it says app. So go here, go settings and go to app. Scroll all the way down, and where it says use browser hardware acceleration, what you're going to need to do is tick this box so it's unticked. It mustn't be ticked. If you tick this box, your game is going to be worse than what the game is already. So untick this box and say done. If it asks you to restart the Battle.net, just restart it and then you're done with that. Okay? Once you're done with that, you go to this little gear icon over here, go to options and go to show in Explorer. Now this is for the new users out there. I'm going to move this from out of the screen. Go to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, scroll down and find the exe file, which is the largest file like this. It will say Modern Warfare. Right click on it, say Properties, and go to Compatibility Mode. Then go to Change Settings for all users. Highly recommend clicking on this button. And then from here, you're going to say Disable Full Screen Optimization to get the game up and running perfectly fine, and say Run an Administrator. Okay, say Apply. Once you're done with that, you're going to go to Change High DPI Settings and tick this box over here. And when it says this box over here where it says I signed into Windows, you click on I open this program and click on here, this little box which says High DPI Scaling Override. Click on this and select Application. Do not select System. Do not select System Enhance. Keep it on Application. Your game is going to break, or your game is going to be worse if you select these two options over here. So say Application, say OK, say Apply, say OK, say OK, and then you're going to close out of this. Now we're going to jump straight into Warzone, and I'm going to show you what you're going to need to do inside the game to get more FPS out of your game and to do that 240 FPS that you want to get. Alright, let's jump straight into that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I'm in my Warzone right now and I'm in the graphics settings. Okay, so this is what you're going to need to do. Number one, when you come into this game and at the top here, it will say installing shaders to optimize performance during gameplay. Let it complete. Please, ladies and gentlemen, just hear me out. Let it complete. Because if you rush into the game while that is installing at the top and it's on packet 1, packet 2, or pack 3, whatever packet it's on, and you rush to go and play the game because you really just want to jump into a match, don't. Let it complete the installation. Let it say installation complete in green here at the top. Then go into the game. Because you are going to get frame loss if you don't let the installation shaders optimization during gameplay performance finish. If you don't let it finish, your game is going to fuck out and your game is going to be worse than it's ever been before, and you're going to feel like just taking your laptop or your PC and smash it to pieces. So let that finish installing. I highly recommend for it to finish installing. Okay, so let's go to over the options here. Display mode. Put this in full screen. Do not select any other option. Doesn't matter what user you are. Full screen. Select the monitor you're currently running and select the graphics card you're currently running. Screen refresh rate. If you've got a 60 Hz monitor, 60. If you've got a 120 Hz monitor, 120. If you've got a 144 Hz monitor, 144. If you've got a 240 Hz monitor, 240. Select the refresh rate of your monitor or of your display. If you are using a, let's say, 1080p monitor, or display, which most of you are most likely, what you're going to need to do is keep it at 100%. If you're still doing FPS loss, now you can bring this down with your mouse, or you can just go here, delete everything inside here and type in 90 and press enter. Put this at 90. This is for people that is still getting very low FPS in the game. To boost your FPS, put this at 90, or you could put it at 95. Play around with it between 85, 90, 95, and 100. Play between those, and you can see a big increase in your FPS. Okay, so I'm just going to put mine back on 100. Okay, keep mine back on 100. This one here, automatic. VSync, disable. We already disabled this in the Nvidia control panel. Now, if you're an AMD user, disable it in the game. You don't need to do it through Radeon software. You don't need to do it. You can just do it in the game. And you'll also uncap your FPS. So I highly recommend, like I said before, disable this. This, you put on unlimited. This one, disable. This, disable. This, you only select this option if your shaders has fucked out, has stopped, or your game's shaders installation is just stuck and it's hovering here and it's not moving. Then you click on this option. It's the only time you click on this little option here. Otherwise, you don't touch this option. This, you keep on 2.2, so your game looks good. Streaming quality, low. So this one here, low. Texture resolution, normal. If you got a mid-tier to low-tier gaming PC, normal. If you got a high-tier gaming PC, high. If you got a computer that you know that can do this at high, and you got more than 6 gig of VRAM, or you got 6 gigs of VRAM, then put this at high. If you got a 4 gig graphics card, put this at normal. Ladies and gentlemen, please, just put this at normal because you can actually see the VRAM that it uses if I switch this higher. Okay? So today I'm doing already over 4 gigs. So for 4 gig users, do not select high. Select normal. Okay? This one over here, you're going to put on high. It does nothing to the VRAM, but it makes the game look good. And you do not want your game to look trash like that. You want it to look like that. Okay? Once you're done with that, this one here, you can actually put on high because it does nothing to your VRAM at all or to your system. Just put it on high. Bullet impacts and sprays, enable this. Tessellation, all. You want all. You want all. You do not want your game to look trash, so you put it on all. Disable this. You do not need this option. Okay? This one over here, you put it either on low or you can put this on normal. One of these two. If you've got a really, really beast machine, you can put this on extra or you can put this on high. It's your own personal preference depending on the system that you're running. Okay? But I highly recommend putting this either on normal or on low. This one or these two, they play a big role on different systems. So if you've got a really, really good computer, it helps out with some Nvidia graphics cards, it helps out with some AMD graphics cards, it helps out with different setups, different systems. Not every single person has the exact same setup, so you can play around with these two options. So you can either enable both of them and check your game out and see if you do more FPS or you do the same FPS but your game looks better, then enable this. Okay? But if you're doing less FPS and your game looks worse, then disable these two. Okay? This one over here, you put on low. Or what you can do is you can put this on ultra because it does absolutely nothing to your VRAM. Once you over here where it says DirectX Ray Tracing, if you've got a DirectX Ray Tracing graphics card and you've got a beast of a graphics card, you can enable this. It's your own personal preference. But myself, as a person that has a ray tracing card, I disable this. This is a multiplayer game and you want to wreck people in the game, so I highly recommend to disable this. Ambient occlusion, you're going to put this both on both, like that. Just like that. Not on that, not on that, not on disable. You're going to put this on both. If you're still getting low FPS on a mid-tier to low-tier gaming PC or laptop, you put this on disabled, okay? But if you got a low-tier or mid-tier gaming PC, and you can put this on both and it does nothing to your system, your FPS stays the same, keep it on both and you should be good to go. This one over here, SSR, disable it. This, you're going to keep on 0.00 because you do not want your game to look like that. You want it to look like that so it's crystal clear so you can see your enemies and see everything in the game to look perfectly fine. Nvidia DLSS plays a very big role on 30 series graphics cards. Okay, so if you've got a 30 series graphics card, you can play around with this. It's your own personal preference. I do not play around with this. Okay, so what you do is you disable this if you're a low tier gaming PC user and there's something in my eye. Oh my god, there's something in my eye. So you put this on disable and you go down. Anti-analyzing, you put this on that. It's the best setting for anti-analyzing and you apply it. If you are a low-end gaming PC user and you're still getting very, very low FPS, then I highly recommend putting this on this. Okay? But if you can put this on this and you're still doing the same FPS or your game still runs smooth, then keep it on here and your game looks absolutely beautiful. Okay? Depth of field, you are going to disable this. You do not need this. It's a multiplayer game. World motion blur, you disable this because you do not need this enabled. If you have this enabled and you move a little bit too fast to your left and right, you will start going to see blur like this. And let's just say there's some guy up there on the roof and you don't see him because you're moving around too fast, because a lot of people don't just stand still. They move around so they don't get shot by snipers. Okay? So disable this, because if this is enabled and some guy is somewhere here on your side, let's say on your left or right hand side, and he shoots you in your face, okay, and you like, oh my god, where the fuck was this guy? It's because you have this on. So disable it. Okay? This one here, disable. You do not need this. It's a multiplayer game. Disable it. Okay? This, 0.00. Unless you want your game to look like absolute horseshit, pixelated as fuck, then you put this up all the way like this, and it's going to look like that, pixelated as fuck, and you do not want that. Okay? So you put this all the way down and keep it like this, so your game looks good. This, you disable, and put this on 300. And you're going to apply the settings. Once you apply the settings, and you'll get more FPS out of your game. Now, as you can see, I'm running in DirectX 12, and I'm doing about 130 to 140 FPS. And if this works for you, ladies and gentlemen, leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new here. Another little trick that you can do with Warzone is just press Ctrl-Alt-Delete, and then go to your task manager. Open up Task Manager, and then go to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right-click on it, go to Details, right-click on this, and go to Set Priority, and set it to High. Once you're done with that, your game will use all the resources it can inside your PC to boost the FPS inside your game, and you'll get more FPS out of your game. Now, if this worked for you, leave a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new here, leave a comment down below if this actually worked for you, and as always, peace out.